Sometimes it's hard for me to show that I'm more than just a title or a comic going viral. There's more to me than people know. Some days I'm broke, some days I'm rich, some days I'm nice, some days I can be a bitch. Some days I'm strong, some days I quit. I don't let it show, but I've been through some shit.
What is up, y'all? I am back with another video for you, and today I want to do a story time for you guys. And this is something that is just, oh my god, my cat is going nuts. Anyways, this is a story that was just blown up on me just a couple of weeks ago, and I was so surprised that it happened. Kind of wasn't at the same time, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's kind of a sad story, but it kind of, Nike! She decided to play and run around right now, so ignore her in the background. But this story is kind of sad at the end because someone did end up losing their life, so there is no disrespect towards them. It's just something that I just thought was a really interesting story at the end of the day, just because I do like true crime now on my channel, that I think it's an interesting thing to incorporate onto my channel. So I thought I'd share this story time with you guys. So if you guys want to know about the time I was cheated on with, the time my boyfriend cheated on me with a soon-to-be killer. That's a good wording, right? Okay. If you guys want to know that story, then just keep on watching. Okay, so starting off on this story, I was back in senior year of high school. So this was 2014. And I was with this friend, and she was from a town not where I was from, and it was about an hour-ish away from where I was from. And we were just going through Instagram, and he like popped up on her timeline because she followed him, and I'm gonna call this guy named Jack. So Jack popped up on her timeline, and I'm gonna call her Abby. So Jack popped up on Abby's timeline, and she was like, hey, this guy's single, do you want to like me to hit him up or whatever? Do you want to follow him? I'm like, yeah, I'll follow him, hit him up or whatever. And because she kind of knew him, I guess. I don't really remember how all that happened. So somehow we met on Instagram and started talking. Things went well, and we decided we wanted to meet up and talk. Or like meet up and like actually meet. So I don't even know what that was. Baby girl, chill. So I met Jack at his house. I know that's weird, but I met him at his house, and we hit it off pretty well, and then we went to movies with a couple of his friends. So that movie went really well. I don't even remember what movie. Oh, it was The Hunger Games. I remember that. So we went to see The Hunger Games, and everything went really well. And after the game, we like sat back at his house. Everything went really, really well. And so I went home. Obviously, things went well. This makes no sense. It has nothing to do with the story, really. So we ended up dating that day. So things were going really well. I was a competitive cheerleader. So I was doing cosmetology school. I was doing high school and competitive cheerleader. Then I had now a boyfriend an hour away, which is really hard to do with all this time. And then at this point, I don't think it's hard because I'm older and I understand, but at that time it was really kind of hard to see him ever, and he was prepping for the Marines. So during this time we were dating, and then Abby ended up dating his best friend, right? So after the breakup, I'm just gonna put this up, I figured out that he would always go to Abby's house with his best friend while like even on my days off where I was free, and like he wouldn't hang out with me, and like he would go over there. And I was like, really? After that I was like, what? Like, he didn't even come to make time to see me, but he went to go see her. Like that just, I don't know if that was true. I think that was maybe Abby just trying to be mad at me or for something, but I'm not sure. Whatever. Me being a competitive cheerleader, for senior year, they do this thing where you go on a cruise ship to the Bahamas, and it's like as many years as you are there, you get all this money taken off. So this was about 10 days into us dating, and why I remember that, I don't know why, but I remember it was 10 days into me dating him. So we left for the ship, and well, we left for Florida and we went to Universal to like go do the thing. It's part of the thing. This is also during Thanksgiving, so he posted on his Instagram like happy Thanksgiving to all these people, and like whatever. The girl he cheated on me with was tagged in it, and I wasn't like insecure at the time, so like him tagging girls didn't mean anything to me because I knew he was in the Marines. Like he had friends that were girls, all this type of things. Like it wasn't a big deal to me. So he tagged her, and so I'm on this cruise. That's a whole different thing. I didn't have a good time. Like I was not a drinker, and like drinking was allowed because we were out of the thing. Like it was fine. Just we were supervised. We were just pretty much, it was legal. You were allowed to. It was kind of known that's what you were gonna do. So if you know anything about the cheer world, like you know that's like always looked down upon. I mean, obviously, but we're out of the country. It's fine. So I wasn't into that. I'm still not into drinking. Like if you know anything about me, I'm not into drinking at all. So I was left out because I was with these group of girls that if you didn't drink, you weren't included. I've always been that girl that was the outcast because I was not into all these trendy things. It was just not what I was. I'm still not that girl. Like I just can't, nope, it's not my thing. So I was having a horrible time, and I was like crying. I'm like, I just left out. Like I'm in my room, and these other girls are not wanting to include me because I'm not drinking. So it was bad, it was whatever, and they were like, what? It was just so bad. So I'm already having a horrible time on this trip. At the end of the trip, everybody was talking about how their boyfriends were meeting them at the airport, and it was like all these cute little movie things, and everybody's boyfriend was meeting them at the airport except mine. And I was like, okay, and I was texting him, and he was about to go to work, and he goes, I'm gonna take a nap before I go to work. And go, okay, that's cool, like I understand, whatever. So that really wasn't what happened. About a week later, I don't remember the full timeline, I think it was about a week later, I was getting ready for school, and he texts me and he goes, I need to tell you something. And I go, what? It's like 6 in the morning. What do you need to tell me? Like why it's 6 in the morning? He goes, I didn't want anybody else to tell you this because they're threatening to tell you this, but I cheated on you. And I go, what? When? Like why? How? When? What? Like I was like so confused. I wanted to bawl. Like I was halfway getting my makeup done and I just wanted to bawl. But I had like 10 minutes until, or like a couple minutes until the bus was here, or not the bus. I had to leave to go to school. And he goes, yeah, I cheated on you when you were on vacation at the cheer thing. And it was with a girl that he was previously with. This girl is complete opposite of me. Like, think about it right now. Look at me. Think of the complete opposite of me. Like everything possible, complete opposite. What? Like what? So this girl smoked weed, drank, all of her Instagram was her in her underwear, nose piercing, black hair that's like really like badly done. It was just like gothic girl compared to me. And it was like, how do you correlate us two? How? So I was hysterical at that point. Like I was like, oh my god, but I have to go to school. I'm the girl that would not go to school being upset and like show that I'm upset, but obviously it's affecting me some way. So I go to school, everything's okay, and then I have to come home and I have about an hour break or an hour and a half-ish before I have to go to cosmetology. So at that point I'm trying to reflect everything, and at that point I'm like thinking about all of it and I'm like, what the heck? So this also was a big day in a cosmetology school. We were doing like our finals and everything for that semester. So I had to focus on a final with my ex-boyfriend just cheated on me. Or my boyfriend at the time just cheated on me. What? Ugh, like I couldn't focus on anything, but I had to because this is my future on the line right now. I was in high school getting my like degree like at the same time or whatever, my license, degree, same thing. So I was doing it and my teacher just kind of looks at me and goes, "This is not your best work. What is this? This is not you." Like he just looked at me, puts my doll aside, like we have mannequin heads we were working on, puts it aside and he goes, "What's wrong?" And I just bawling my eyes out, and I just like tell him everything. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me, blah, 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 blah. He goes, "Okay, I won't deduct your grade. I understand it's kind of hard, like gave me a talk, whatever." And went on with that day. So after that, I come home, like I talk to him, dump me, take him back, right? So a couple days later, he shows up at my cosmetology school without me knowing. I didn't know he was gonna be there. So I'm trying to think of everything at once. So we have class of the bookwork first and then the cosmetology stuff second. I'm trying to think of everything. This was so long ago that like details are hard. So at my teacher's desk, we put our phones, and when we come back, we can look at our phones and then for like a couple minutes and then come back and like chill because we're at school a lot longer than anybody else. So they just let us like get our phones and stuff. So I don't know, like I notice him, but I don't like comprehend he's at my teacher's desk when I grab my phone, and I'm gonna call her Demi. When I grab my phone, Demi says, "Hey, that looks like a guy that Raquel would date." And I like look and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's my boyfriend or whatever." And I just see he's about to cry. And I just walk off and I'm like, okay, whatever. I knew that my teacher was lecturing him for what he did to me. So I just went off and let my teacher do his thing. I was like, let you cry about it, let you do it, you deserve this. So I go off, and then after a while he walks around. So like my station was right here, so you have like mirrors, like so you can't see anything unless I looked behind me where the mirrors were to see him. So he comes around with flowers and chocolates, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like doing the normal thing, like he's so sorry, like whatever, blah blah blah. So he makes this big scene, like whatever. So that everything is fine, whatever, fine, you could say. I was dumb, took him back. So in February, I had to leave again. So if you don't know anything about competitive cheerleading, you leave a lot. You leave town a lot. Oh, speaking of which, so I had competitions on weekends and I knew he was available. And one of the competitions was he overslept or slept through his alarm and couldn't make it to a couple of my competitions. Like he didn't want to support me at all. It was really rude. I was like, I just want you there for one competition and you can't be there? What? So he never was at any of my competitions after I asked because he always slept through the alarm, whatever. And then February, after this was during Valentine's Day, it's usually we go to Atlanta and it's always during Valentine's Day. So we go to Atlanta and he comes before we leave. I think it was before we leave. Or was it after? It was either, yeah, it was before I had to leave, I remember. So before I left, he came to my school again and like gave me flowers, whatever. And apparently came to my house. So I come home and I have Nike, I always wore Nike Pros under my jeans. So when I came home, I would always take my jeans off just to be in my Nike Pros. My mom goes, "You need to go upstairs." And I go, "What? Why?" And she goes, "You need to go upstairs." And I go, okay. So I walk upstairs and he has teddy bear, whatever, and stuff. I think it was just a teddy bear, and then he had a note on my packing list for Atlanta, and it says his name, Jack, whatever. I put him as Jack. And I was like, oh, this is so cute. And he sprayed his cologne on it. And so I had that when I went to Atlanta and the car ride. So the car ride came about a little bit late when we were coming back because we had snow. It was like a blizzard going on. And in Kentucky, coming back up to Indiana, they didn't know how to shovel snow. It was really weird. So it was like nothing. But we couldn't get anywhere, so I was late getting back to school. I had to email my teachers. I had papers due, and I was like, I'm not gonna be in town, I'm sorry. Like, they knew what I did, so they knew I was gonna be a cheerleader. They knew I was gonna be gone. So they kind of understood my situation. I'm like, here, I'm sending it through email, sending all my homework through email, just letting it happen. So I got home that Tuesday, a little late, and I knew he was at work. So I got home and drove up to his work to surprise him, whatever, fun things like that. On my way home, I get a flat tire. Fun, right? Cool, got a flat tire. So my mom is telling me, call him, he has to take you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he's at work. I don't know what you want me to do because he's at work. He's gonna be at work until like 10 o'clock. So you just want me to sit on the side of the road? And my dad was I don't remember where my dad was at that point, but my dad wasn't there. So I was like having to call him multiple times. Like, I don't know, I'm getting yelled at by both sides, like whatever. And so he said, I'm done with your shit, and broke up with me. So I got broken up with on the side of the highway where I was having a flat tire. And I was like, well, he just broke up with me. I hope you're happy. Like, it was bad. So going off of that, couple weeks later, he sends me a Snapchat of me and her, or sends me a Snapchat of her and him. Like, I was so pissed at that point. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, you just sent me that? Like, it was bad. So going on, of course, that breakup, that was my first breakup. It was traumatic. Just don't ever, it was bad. It was red flags everywhere. But it was my first boyfriend. I didn't know any better. They did end up dating after, if you want to know, they did end up dating for a little bit after we broke up. I'm just scrolling on Facebook, and for some reason, I've always waited for her name to pop up in the news of her doing something. I don't know why, but I did. So a couple weeks ago, finally happened, and I saw her picture, and I go, that looks like her. That literally looks like her. So I look and I see it is her because she went by one name, but she has like a real name. And so I understood, but I knew the last name, which was a kind of a weird last name, and I knew it was her because it was just like that. And I'm like, she pretty much she gave a lot of drugs to this one kid, and he overdosed, and she didn't even try to save him, pretty much. So yeah, she pretty much killed this kid. And it's sad, like, she just never, everybody knew her as this girl that didn't care about anybody else but herself. So yeah, and what's the funny thing is about that, at the end, I get like a phone call, I was out, and so I look at my phone and I have a phone call from him, and I go, what? And so I texted him and I'm like, did you mean to call me? And he goes, I don't know who this is. And apparently he changed my name in the phone. So it was kind of a weird coincidence that he called me like 2 days after I saw this article. But I just think it's funny that he downgraded so bad, or cheated on me with this girl that is literally no good. Like, literally. So she's in jail for a little bit. I hope he's good about it. So yeah. I know that's probably a really odd, maybe a dumb story. I think it's interesting personally, but that's pretty much the story of my time I was cheated on, pretty much, and everything. If you guys want any more story times from me, let me know down below. Probably not, because I'm not really good at story times, but I'm trying, guys. I'm trying so hard. Also, if you guys want any more content from me, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like it if you guys want to help me out a little bit extra. Share this video if you want to help me out some more. Like, Like this video if you guys want to help me out a little bit extra. Comment anything you'd like me to do down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. That is where I update you guys if I'm going to be uploading that week. If anything else is going on as well, any like technical difficulties, anything like that, that's where I like to update you guys. But other than that, I hope to see y'all in my next video. Bye.
Patrol these empty thoughts before, but I'm fixed now on the cure. I'm holding on to the last rock on the mountaintop, and I'm begging for your love. Do you remember the type of folk we used to be, and the simple souls we used to see?